Tonight, we go around the association in some hardwood handicaps. After only a 4-game slate on a Thursday, a robust NBA slate on this Friday. Second leg of a back-to-back for Indiana, who was on an East Coast road trip. The Pacers were in New York last night, taking on the Knicks inside Madison Square Garden. They lost by 4. They return home to Indianapolis tonight, where the Pacers will host the Kings. They are a 3-point home underdog in Indianapolis, but when the Kings and the Pacers are linking up, not only is it the Domantas Sabonis versus the Tyrese Halliburton revenge game on both sides, it's a lofty number. The over-under, 249.
It is a high number, but also, Ben, again, when we talk about handicapping these on the early line, much different than when we find out who the actual teams are going to be playing tonight. Now, granted, we know it's Pacers-Kings. We just don't know the starting lineups here. But the one thing I do know, there's a better chance that the Sacramento Kings will be full tilt after that game against the Miami Heat. They fly into town. They get a nice night of rest here waiting on the Pacers, who last night were in New York City taking on the Knicks in Madison Square Garden, which leaves us with, okay, Tyrese Halliburton did come back, and maybe he wants to win the MVP or whatever first-team All-Pro, and he wants to stay in the lineup. That's fine, but it also means you played a lot of minutes last night. It was a close basketball game. Nobody rested in that one. I'll take the Sacramento Kings in this game, much like I took them against the Miami Heat, but they got squashed in that game. I like the Kings, and also, I'll just lean towards the under. Any team, I don't care what the tempo is going to be. Back-to-back, Ben, in your own city, that's one thing. Back-to-back on travel, where you're in a different city the night before and another city the next day, I'll just lean on the under in that spot.
It feels like a really big spot for Indiana, trying to start to turn things up optimistically with Pascal Siakam and Tyrese Halliburton in the lineup. He only played about 20 minutes last night as they were in New York against the Knicks inside MSG, trying to ramp him up as well. Again, the Pacers, a really good underdog this year, 17-11-2 against the number, 15-15 in those 30 games as a dog straight up. Sacramento, 16-17-1 against the spread as the favored side. Now we go to Minneapolis, where the best team in the Western Conference resides. That would be the Timberwolves. An 8-point home favorite tonight against the Orlando Magic. The Magic, the best cover team in all of the association. The total 211.5. A big 8-point spread working the way of the T-Wolves tonight in the Twin Cities.
Yeah, why can't we keep it close? The one thing the Orlando Magic know how to do is play it close and within the number, as you just stated here, and also playing decent basketball on the road. I'll take the Magic getting the 7.5 points. Are they the better team against Minnesota? No, they're not, but they do cover spreads, and that's why I'm taking the Magic tonight.
Minnesota 18-4 at home this year, but covering numbers at home, just 12-8-2 against the spread. 31-17, the overall ATS mark for the Magic. Again, that is the best cover percentage in all of the NBA. I would happen to agree. We would look at that 8-point difference and think Orlando keeps it within that margin. Two teams that know each other very well. Once a budding rivalry in the Western Conference postseason, a little bit tampered in tonight's matchup in the Grind City. The Grizzlies, an 8-point home underdog, second leg of a back-to-back at home for Memphis, hosting the Golden State Warriors. Again, the Dubs need to start stacking up some of those W's. They are still 4 games below 500, 20-24. Line working to Golden State. Memphis without Ja Morant. We learned that he was going to be out for the remainder of this year on January 8th. 12 games now. The Grizzlies have covered in 8 of the 12. They have covered in 6 consecutive. Golden State has not been a great cover team this year. What do you expect tonight in Memphis?
If this was a back-to-back, meaning Memphis was on the road at Golden State on a back-to-back, this would be different here. But Memphis is at home. You're rested, and Memphis is at home on a back-to-back, so not as bad in that travel situation. Does it come down to, Ben, just the Golden State Warriors favored by this amount? You just can't do that. Are they better? Should they cover? Yes, but I'm going to bet against Golden State tonight. I'll take the Grizzlies with the points at home, even though, again, they're on a back-to-back.
Listen, you're not wrong in thinking that Golden State not going to cover this number. I think the Dubs win this game outright. I'm not sure what that margin looks like. Golden State this year, 9-17 against the spread when booked as a favorite. Maybe we can find some value then in a player performance double. How about Steph to score 30 on the road in the Grind City and Golden State to win? It's a plus 138 price. Now, the Detroit Pistons are not a great basketball team. I'm not going to argue that they are. but Detroit has been covering numbers here as of late. They're getting 12 at home tonight in the Motor City against the Clippers, total 238.5.
Yeah, it looks like Kate Cunningham probably going to play again tonight, and that's good enough for me. We're not asking for a win, as Ben said. We're just asking to cover, and also not cover 5 or 6 points, covering double digits here tonight. Are the Clippers the better team? Should they win? Absolutely. But I'm going to take the Pistons at home with double digits in this game, Ben.
When you look at what Detroit has done as of late, 2 victories in their last 4 games, 3 victories in the last 2.5 weeks, that's for a team who has won 6 games all year long. Detroit has now covered, as I tally this up quickly, in 8 of their last 9 games. I'm going to back the Pistons as well. The Clippers really good as a favorite this year, but just too many points. Now Monty Williams is starting to turn things around. And by turn things around, I mean at least keeping games more competitive than they were earlier this season.